So we've had a wonderful time covering match 2 for you. We're actually going to go to Decktech live with Dan Lettin, the player we just saw in this, who's been playing Sneak Attack for quite a while and has got lots of interesting
he knows the deck very well.
He knows the deck very well.
Can tell you a few things about it.
So we're going to head over there with Alex. Yeah, we definitely missed. They go over there with Alex Gershaw. So have a lovely time. We'll see you shortly.
Hi, I'm sat here with Dan Lettin. Hi. You're playing Sneak and Show last round.
Yep.
How are you? What is this deck about?
The principal aim is to kill your opponent as fast as possible. Put an Emrakul or a Gristlebrand onto the table faster than your opponent can deal with it, and take it to the end of the game.
So Emrakul has Annihilator 6. We saw you destroy all of your opponent's permanents in planning to in game 2. And Gristlebrand draws lots of cards, which enables you to back up what you're trying to do with counter magic, like Force of Will.
Yep.
So what else can this deck do?
So I think one of the deck's strong points is its versatility via Cunning Wish. Given that you can go... Cunning Wish is both a win con and also allows me to access the toolbox that is my sideboard. So I have instants basically for every occasion in there. And as well, there is the option to just go off from there. Putting Omniscience on the table and allowing myself to just go through everything. There aren't many things that can answer that, and also once I've got the Omniscience on the table, I already know that my opponent is unlikely to have responses in hand.
Okay, so let's look at some of the instants in the sideboard. In game 1, you cast Emrakul with this card here, Through the Breach. Would you like to tell me about that? So,
Through the Breach, in more traditional Sneak and Show decks, there's more of these in the sideboard, and they're the diversification plan in games 2 and 3. If you think your opponent's going to hit you out of either Show and Tell or Sneak Attack. In this, it's more of a... it's the only one of that suite of tools that is instant, and so the only one that can be wished for. And it gets you out in a pinch if you don't have the Sneak Attack or the Show and Tell Omniscience route to go down.
Sure. I see you have in the sideboard here a copy of Release the Ants. Can you tell me the combo with this card, please?
There isn't one. So Release the Ants is traditionally in Omnishow you put an Emrakul on top of your deck and you just repeatedly cast Release the Ants using the Omniscience that's already on the table to kill your opponent from whatever life total they're on all the way down to nothing. In this particular build, there isn't any consistent way of getting the Emrakul on top of your library. So Release the Ants, while it's still in here, it feels like its role is a lot more niche than it has been historically. And I almost see it as more like a removal spell that I can reuse rather than just a win con.
Sure, you were telling me earlier how this deck list is different from what you're generally used to. What are you generally used to?
So I normally play more of a straight Sneak and Show build or a straight Omni Show build. A straight Sneak and Show deck will be running 4 Show and Tell, 4 Sneak Attack, 4 Emrakul, 4 Gristlebrand. An Omni Tell deck will be running 4 Show and Tell, 4 Omniscience, and be planning to go off via a Firemind's Foresight, Cunning Wish, and Release the Ants style chain. In this build, we've got 3 Sneak Attack, 3 Omniscience, 3 Gristlebrand, 3 Emrakul, and the original list that I looked at online had 3 Cunning Wish, but I upped that to 4. So it feels like this is adding an angle to the deck, but as a result is less consistent than either of the other two on any given plan.
Sure. So do you think that this deck has more inherent weaknesses than what you're used to?
I think time will tell on that one. That was only the second round that I've played with this particular configuration. I'm slightly concerned that at some point in the day I'm going to end up with Sneak Attack and Omniscience in my hand and wishing that I had either other piece that those cards had replaced. So.
Yeah, it does seem like you can draw one half of the combo without the other. We saw you in one of the games just drawing lands. Sometimes the combo just doesn't get there. I like the 3 Blood Moons in the sideboard. It's a shame we didn't see them in that match. They seem to be able to lock out most decks. How many of your games have you won to just Blood Moon?
Historically, lots. Today, none. Though I have boarded them in every time. They become win cons numbers, well, X plus 1, 2, and 3. Because if I can go turn 1 Blood Moon, quite often my opponent will just pick up their cards because they're unable to interact with that game. And sometimes even opponents that can play around a Blood Moon may not think to, and their mistake is basically capitalized upon.
Okay, so one last thing. What do you think the inherent strengths of this deck is in the format of Legacy?
By far it's blistering speed. But it definitely falls down when it comes to consistency.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time.